All right, so I am now on the line with a Mr. Fabrice Labrana, aka Fabbreezy. You
Yeah,
are
yeah,
a
yeah.
you are a dancer, a choreographer, an artistic director, trainer, as well as an event producer, and you have a resume that is very impressive, sir.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I got a lot of different acts. Yeah, I got just. I
So
used
real
to
quick,
act.
real quick, I want to point this out real quick. So you've danced alongside Mariah Carey, George Michael, Robbie Williams, Chris Brown, as well as Matt Pokora. Excuse my dogs, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. And as well, you've been in some international films. Is that right?
yeah. Kind of, yeah. From French films, some international movies like US mixed with UK. So yeah. I did a lot of different stuff in my career.
Hey, that's super impressive, man. Super impressive, man. I told you before we started, man. I'll say it again.
Yeah,
I want to thank you so much for taking time out here to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
no problem. It's all good.
So I'm very curious, man. I'm super curious to hear about your childhood, man. Talk to me about that, man, please.
Wow. So coming from an island called Guadeloupe, I'm born in France for sure, and arrived there like almost between 5 and 6. So I went to school there and everything. But the originally in Guadeloupe, we have a lot of artistic stuff like original drama. My mom was a dancer too. My father was a drummer in the same group called Caribana back in the time. So I used to listen music every time, and that's put me directly. I love dance because I love music. So I'm not dancing just because I love moving. I love dance because I love music. So from my kids' time, I used to listen a lot of music. So that's made me move directly.
And so you said both your parents were in a band, or what was it?
Yeah, a band called Caribana. It was I would say a traditional dance band coming from the West Indies. Maybe Kassav is like
I
a big crew
definitely know
from.
Kassav. Yeah, I know Kassav.
So Caribana back in the time was kind of the dance traditional group coming from there, and used to make a lot of tour around the world, like Africa, Eurasia, Italy, whatever, like coming back to West Indies, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and everything.
Okay, man, that's super cool, man. I'm very curious to hear from you. Tell me this: what was it like growing up in that household?
Wow, I can say that. I can explain that. Oh, for me, the way I grew up in the time, like from my kids' age and after in the school and everything, was always I would say half artistic, half sports, and half me. So, I'm kind of a crazy guy. I would say really spontaneous. Everything I do, like I love motorcycle and all that things. So in my child time and in my school time, I was always that guy, kind of smart, mixing a crazy mind, mixing a spontaneous guy. So that's why I love dance too, because dance put like together all my talent and everything I like, I would say. So the competition, the artistic creative side, and in the same time I have that like spontaneous things when you go to battle, like a small fight and everything. So even my creativity for artists and everything, like coming from I would say that three side of me, like smart in school, spontaneous in life, and kind of artistic in everything.
Okay, I understand that, man. Let me ask you this. I'm very curious to know, man. When was the last time you've been, back home to West Indies, back to Guadeloupe?
Wow, it was just before all that COVID stuff. It
Okay.
was like maybe around 2 years and a half ago. Just before, because I used to go there to see my mom and my grandmother for sure, and my aunts, and I got some parents there,
Okay.
friends and everything. But my last time was like 2 years and a half ago. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very curious, man. I want to hear from you. How how has Guadalupe, how has it changed from when you were a child to when you went back 2 years ago? You know, how have things changed?
I would say everything changed on the same way it changed maybe in the world. Like when I was a kid, uh, everything was like really free. You know, you can talk to your neighborhood and just walk in the street at 6 years old, 7 years old. Everybody knows you and everything. So it's like a small island and I live in a small. I was in a small island in a small town and in a small street from that town. So you know, Guadeloupe is small and big in the same time because it's a bridge of many different islands. We got Haitian, Dominican, Jamaican, a lot of different people from different islands. So we used to have that, I would say, kind of island international culture. You know, you talk Creole, you exchange with Dominican, Haitian, Jamaican. So the music is on the same way, like the music you listen to coming from all that different island. And after, of course, you connect to the US and everything, African and whatever. But everything when I was young was like really friendly, you know, when you know everybody. And now everything's become more, I would say, you know, we have like that kind of poor streets in Ireland. So when, of course, with the government and everything, you don't have so many helps or money or job or work different. So we have some problem for growing up, like our kids and everything, like school, hospitals. So with the COVID and everything, everything's coming worse. Like now, when I was a kid, everything was like we was like innocent on the island, just enjoy life, and everybody was like kind of gentle people. And after that, become like all that poor stuff. So you have some bad boy, of course, from the street and everything. So it's like a small US in the island. So it can be sometime in some streets dangerous, but in the same time, if you stay polite and you stay cool, everything's can be really nice. So I would say the only difference between when I was kids and now is maybe the way you have to be careful every time about the way you talk, the way you move, or your way you. So everything's was more spontaneous when I was young, and now we start to become like everywhere in the world. Everybody watch each other like they look strange.
Okay. Before we started, we were discussing how, you know, you were born in France, but you would often go back and forth between, you know, the islands and France, man. So I'm very curious. I have two questions for you, but tell me this, you know, how was France different than Guadeloupe, and also how are they similar?
Yeah, I would say, you know, it's a colony of France. So of course, we talk French and Creole. So I would say we learn the story of France and the story. I was in a school when we can learn the story from my island too, from Guadeloupe. So we have like kind of double culture. We know some culture from France, whatever the story, the king and everything. And we got our own culture, like the language, the music, the clothes, the dress and everything. So we have like our own culture. And I would say we look similar on the way we maybe educate people because the school are French and everything. But the things I love, we keep like our own culture inside of everything, inside of the way we talk, inside of the music, inside of the clothes, inside of everything. So when you have a good connection, I would say in my island with the old school people and the new school people, the young people, it become like a big generation of connection. So whatever happened in the future, we still connect to what's happened before, especially in my family and all that stuff. We still get the contact with the new young generation, my kids and everything. And from the old generation, my grandmother and everything. And I would say in France, from my side, I don't live it in the same way. Maybe the people get the same connection I got in Guadeloupe, but I don't live it in the same way because our trees connection is not the same. So that's for me, the difference is more my own culture difference than lifestyle difference, I would say.
No, I understand that, man. And so
Yeah.
the second part of the question, I'm curious, going back to your childhood, what was it like living in France, man? And not necessarily being French, or having your family from the islands, but growing up in France. What was that like for you?
For me, it's not I would say it wasn't a problem because in France we have a lot of different culture, and that's the things I love in France too. So that's why I stay there and I still there. So we have a lot of different culture, and for me, I love to meet people. So what I remember from Ireland is the different people I met in a small island. In France, I will remember all the many different people I met in the whole country, in the whole Europe, and it's so easy after to travel and everything. So I would say, for me, the people, the way I live in France is just the same way I was living in Guadeloupe. For me, everything is like a connection of people. You have Arabic, African, Germany, Italy, whatever. Like a lot of people in the same town. So every town got a different way to talk, different styles sometimes. So I love that France is small, but we have so many different people inside. So I love to discover people, talk with people and everything. So it was for me a really good things actually to live in France because it was the same things I was living in my island, like meeting different people and more you are curious and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, man. I was looking up Parisian hip hop, which is, I guess, French hip hop, and I didn't know this. And maybe
Yeah.
Google is true, but Google says that France has the second largest hip hop scene in the world behind America, man. So I'm very curious. Talk to me about the hip hop culture in France, man. What is that like?
So if we talk about rap, and I would say I would start with the rap because the rap is connected to dance for me after. So in the music style, for me, what I like in France is like all the different people from different origin mix their own culture in the French rap. So that's the first interesting things actually, even not even only in the rap way, but in the music, in the street music in France, because you have some people like from Africa, for example, they start to have a lot of slang mixing African, French slang, and that's give you more opportunities to develop your own way to rap or your own way to sing. So when you start to put like some Creole inside of the French, and after you switch in English and you go back in the Spanish way, but even if you're still in the same language, but I love the way the French people play with their own origin in the way they sing and they rap.
Okay. So that seems crazy to mix all those different, I guess, dialects, all those different languages, man. That's super impressive, very impressive. Tell me this, man. So you're growing up in France, man. Were you always a dancer? Is that something you always knew you wanted to do?
Like I told you before, dance was for me like just joining all my different talent, everything I love in life. So when I was young, I was like, I told you, listen to music every time, dancing with my cousin. They bring me everywhere like a small mascot, battling small kids like me and everything. So dance for me was like, some people, they love to play basketball. Some people love to play football. And for me, I love to make sports. And the dance was for me something I love to do. I didn't know especially why, but it's just like kids who love to play PlayStation. But me, I love to dance. So that was for me something really natural. Even now, I never stop dancing because that's given me something special. Joy is connected to what I like and everything. So when I grow up, of course, like everybody, I went to school and everything. Okay, start doing some small job to buy my stuff. I love to have a good style, whatever. So work hard to have everything. And after that, for me, the opportunities I got was directly connect to the dance without reflection. So of course, every time when I finish to practice in basketball, go back to practice in the dance, in the weekend, doing some battle after the game and stuff, go in a club, battling with some friends. And, it was like a lifestyle. It wasn't even a job like it can be now. So when you take pleasure in everything like that and you grow up inside of it, you never think, oh, in my future, I would be a dancer. No, you just say, okay, I will take some opportunities. And my first job actually was just a casting I did with my first crew, Juice Camp back in the days. And we just went there and we arrived and it was an audition for Nike. They was looking for some street dancer and everything. We arrived there. And after I stayed almost 10, 12 years working with them. So for me, I didn't take it directly as a job. I take it as if I can do something with my passion, it can be interesting. So you're still learning and you work directly professionally with big people. So you learn in the business, in everything. So without even thinking, you learn everything. So if you ask me, like, if I was thinking when I was a child, if I was thinking like, oh, I will be a dancer in my future, I would say no. I didn't think like that. But naturally, I just developed my lifestyle and I was in it after. So
let me ask you this: for people who may not live in this artistic lifestyle, this dance lifestyle, let me ask you this: how does one improve? How does one separate themselves from others? Meaning, I think a simple answer would be just dance more. But, what elevates a good dancer from an excellent dancer?
Oh, for me, of course, everybody gonna have a different opinion of that question because everybody got a different way to live, different way to develop, different way to think. So it's like if you're asking me like the same in the football or basketball in the sports way, like, oh, what's make the difference between you and you when you play and this and that? And maybe some people going to tell you, oh, I'm tall, I'm strong, so I go deep in it. Some people going to tell you, oh, I'm skinny, so I try to be fluid. And only this for me is the first things you have in your dance style. Is the way your body move, the way your body react to the music. So if it's powerful, if it's skinny, if it's fluid, if it's really flexible. So for me, the first things everybody should have when they start dancing, whatever, if it's a beginner or a master, is like connect to their own body to dance the way they want to be. So after the dance will give you something special. I take it really like that. It will give you something special because, of course, I'm a passion guy, so I will talk as a passion guy. But it will give you the special things because some people are shy or some people are ashamed of their body or whatever, or their face or everything. So for me, it will first give you something like to feel confident inside of what you're doing. So when you start to be confident and you play with the way you can match with your body and the way you listen to the music, everything's for me is really sensitive. And when you have this, you can push for me directly on the good way to be a good dancer. And most of the people are connect with what the others looks like. So if you want to looks like someone, you're already on the wrong way. But that it doesn't mean like you will be wrong all your life. It just means it's going to take more time for you to join the level of a good dancer because you already need to have your own personality, your own way to move before you watch sometime or you copy the others. Watching the others is good, but copy the others is different. So that's going to make you look different if you start from yourself, what's make you move before you start dancing. And for me, if you have this, of course, you win time. And some people, they start on the other way. And after they come back to them and they go up. So for me to be a good dancer, you can learn 1,000 move, no problem. But no move is like school. If you know every books, that it doesn't mean you're smart. dance is the same for me. If you know all the step, all the story of dance, or it doesn't mean like you will be for sure a good dancer. It just mean like, okay, you got the words. Can you build a sentence, a poesy, and maybe a dreaming movie? I don't know. And for me, more you will go far inside of the way your dance can match with you in every different way, more you're gonna be good.
I, I don't know if you might have just answered this, man. I hope you haven't. Look, I'm curious to hear from you. At your level, we've been doing this for so long. Um, how how do you remain creative without imitating or copying someone else, especially in today's age where we have social media and we can see so many dancers and have so many influences? How do you remain creative?
For me, be creative, and I say that today, I think in my story on Instagram. But for me, be creative is something really special because creativity is something you develop. Most of the people think and they want to do that, like, oh, I want to be creative, but how? Okay. For me, in a dance style, creativity coming from your culture inside of what you're doing for me. So, of course, I'm coming from an island. So I'm really connected to my origin. After, of course, the way I'm going to learn a step or a combo or a Tetris, whatever, will be directly connect to my style for me. Because I will not maybe do the Tetris like some people do. Maybe they are Egyptian. I don't know. I will maybe do it like a West Indies guy. So maybe it will be a little bit more dreaming, more, I don't know, you know? So for me, progressing in the dance doesn't mean like, like I told you before, every word. It means the way you will play with that words. If you gonna like chill, if you want to be strong, if you want to. So I will say what's make you be creative when you start to have a good level is your connection with the vocabulary you have. Because after, of course, everybody can do a wave, everybody can do all the social dance we know and everything. But some people, they will do it like we'll say, that guy, he do it like a frogs. I don't know. Maybe in that style, he like, I don't know, he got a big back and that's gonna be his own style in the step everybody does. So for me, that's the first really interesting things when you start to be creative. Is like you start to have picture for me or what you can put inside of one step to be you and different to the others. And after, what's make you feel better in the technical way is the way you're going to fix the point in your brain. Like it starts to be technique, but sometimes you say for me, dance is a lifestyle, is a storytelling. So sometimes I just in my home like that, okay, I open my fridge, I don't know what I'm gonna eat or what I'm gonna drink. So maybe in my dance style, it will be open the door, what I'm gonna drink, bang. And maybe the way I'm gonna drink is like I found it. And that's gonna be original because it's my own way to show you the way I open my fridge and I drink something. But with the technique of robotic or fluidity or character, and everything's going to be in my dance style after that. So be original is like be far in what you're doing.
I like that, man. That's super cool. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I try to explain you quick.
So I hope this is not a redundant question, man. So I get what you're saying. I understand that. Let's say for someone who maybe, hasn't found their own voice, maybe lacks that confidence to I guess maybe like express themselves or be different, man. What can you speak on about that? Is there anything you can say on that?
Oh, actually a difficult question, because you start to mix the way people, the advice you can give to people and the advice you can give to yourself. So that's two different advice, of course. And I would say the people who didn't found maybe their passion or the way they can move or sing or present or do an interview or whatever, I think all of that coming from a passion. And most of the time, people never really connect to their passion. They connect to what they have to do to have money or to exist or to show themselves on the social media or whatever. People just think about what they have to do to be famous or to be this. And if you take, I would say maybe one day, not even 1 week, one day, to think about, oh, what I really like to do when I'm not doing my job, or when I'm not talking to my friends, or what I really like to do when I'm alone or whatever. And you will start maybe to connect to something, develop a small passion inside of you. For me, it was dance, it was music, but for other people, it will be maybe playing games or basketball or rapping and for me, when you touch that little passion and you take it as something you can push, that's for me the beginning of something, whatever it is. So most of the people, I think, to answer to your question, they're asking a lot themselves how I can live, how I can have money, how I can be this, or I can be sexy, and they never ask him themselves, so what I like.
Okay, I understand that. So a little bit of self-reflection. I definitely understand that. Um, let me ask you this. We all, I'll say I understand the benefits that art and entertainment can have. So your influence on people, can be very appreciated. People appreciate that. I'm curious to hear from you. What has dancing taught you, or what has dancing done for you that you find beneficial for yourself?
All right, wow. Be on stage is something really, for me, is something really special, because be on stage is like show yourself for sure. But most of the people, they think like the people on stage love to show themselves. Some, yes, like everybody have their own ego, I would say, especially in the arts. To be good, you need to have a small ego, even if it's real small. But if you don't have ego, I think they're just going to push you down really quick. So that's the first thing. It's like a small, I would say, words of competition mixing with, you compare yourself to other people. And it's like a lot of stuff can touch your original, I would say, character. But after this, you always have that, I would say, that way to do your art. And you kind of do that. You can do it like for fun during 1, 2 years, 3 years, okay. But after 5, 10, if it doesn't give you something special, whatever it is, you start to ask yourself question, like, and you start to be maybe better than before, or depends what you feel. So at that moment, most of the time, like I said before, how you can connect to yourself and say, okay, what I like when I'm on stage, because if I don't like it, why I'm doing it. And what I like on stage is like, give something to the people you cannot say when you cannot see when you talk, or when you dance, you see it only with movement. You don't have even to talk. So that's why I love dance, because it's like talking in silence. Some people, the way they dance, you will feel like, oh, this man got a big head, or this man is shy, or this man, I love the way he smells. And for me, the dance represents so much on character of people. People, even the people who are not professional, I'm talking even the people in the club, the way they move, they have something like inside of them special. And for me, that things, when you become a professional, you just know how to give to the people like an actor. When you watch a good movie and you say, oh, that actor touched me every time. And that dancer touched me every time. Because the way he moved, the way, and you forget. When the dancer for me make you forget is just show himself is special.
Okay, I
I don't know if
understand that.
the way I feel that small things on stage, like give something special to the people and not show them only like, oh, you show yourself. If you pass that level, whatever, if it's Madonna or Beyonce, or for me, when you watch them, you forget like they just show themselves. They perform. You in the movie, you travel with them. So for me, dance is the same like a singer or actor, or is the way you make people travel with you. And when you get that connection, you can do whatever you want, even if it's bad.
So let me ask you this, man. It's kind of a question that just popped into my head, man. But the more proficient you become at a skill, the more popular you become, and the more people start to notice you. I'm very curious to hear from you, man. How do you deal with negativity in your life, and especially in an artistic space where everyone's going to have their own opinion, man? How do you deal with that?
Yeah. That's always a difficult thing, of course, to especially in the artistic things, because it touches you directly in what you show to the people. So, of course, negativity is always something hard to even to receive and after to control yourself with that. So, for me, I found my way to not many artists. I know some famous, some really famous, and it's really hard to save your soul, I will say, inside of that artistic mood, because it's a mix of business, real people, fake people. So of course, every time, or even trader or spy, it's like everywhere you have some strange people. So the only way for me, I found to like pass that that negativity most of the time is like I just try to be, I would say, good in what I'm doing. That's mean I'm not waiting for the what people gonna say or what people gonna think about me or what people, because I try to be the most, I would say, talented or good or human inside of me. So after this, of course, you're always going to have people going to tell you, oh, I don't like your style, or I don't like this, or I don't like the way. But all these things coming from, I would say, most of the time, when you clean inside of you, you feel like this negativity coming from people who judge other people. So when you have your center with that feeling, I would say it's easy for you to found the I would say the good way or the bad way, So if the man looks like too strong with you, okay, you can switch on the bad way, but why? And after you have the good way, and the good way is like how important is that aggressivity or negativity or whatever it is? How important is it for me? So for me, that's the only way after years, after many years, after 20 years, I found to like, found I would say my soul, and my mood saved my soul, and try to stay in my mood. Like I try to connect the maximum as I can with people I got a good feeling with. And sometimes they can be fake in the beginning with a good feeling. But after, if they switch, I would say I may be wrong. But if we doesn't match anymore, it's maybe you or me, but it's better to stop that bad feeling, I would say. So I just find the way to, in that, I would say, that crazy world, to find a way to not have too much of that in my life. And that's why I'm kind of connecting with a lot of people, but at the same time, I can cut myself to many people. So how important is the negativity in your life? That's the main question, actually.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. And so it's one part, like you said, you preparing, becoming your best, and then as well, deciding, how important is that negativity. So I definitely understand that, man. Let me ask you this. Dancing is your full-time profession, is that correct?
Yeah.
And how long has it been like that for you?
Wow. Now I'm professional for more than 20 years because I looks like a young guy, but in the same time, I will tell you my age will be better. I got 43 and going on 44 next month, like in August next month. Hey. Oh no, in 1 month and a half, something like that.
Okay.
So the way I would say you develop yourself inside of the dance and everything is always really personal. So that's why when you ask me this question, it's really hard to explain sometimes a personal feeling on some really stuff like you feel without even words, So it's happened, it's not happened. You're going, you're not going. And sometimes with an artistic mind, it's good to follow just your feeling, because after it becoming like something really difficult to control inside of every different way you can do whatever you want to do, girls or men or this or, everything starts to be really complicated. So that's why when I arrive on this point for that question, I always try to look coming back to the center and say, okay, you have many options, but all should be in the center of that option.
Yeah, no worries. So, you've been dancing, you've been a professional dancer for the past 20 years. Yeah. And people may look up to that. People may idolize that. But what are some things that people may not know that go on behind the scenes? What are some things people may not know about the life of a full-time dancer?
Get it. I will say behind the scene, especially now people don't know about it, but like in every culture, you have that competition in every different art things. Some people live it in a different way. Some people live it really as a competition to compare themselves, like even the way all the social media lead you on that way sometimes. So for me, I would say the way you live inside of that world is really, really important to be yourself, like I say, in the game, to really be yourself in the game, because manage yourself inside of that game and what's happened behind the scene can affect your dance, your business, your family, your hurt, your cry, your love, your everything, because it's a small world. We all know each other. We all know maybe the wife or the kids of each other or some, not everybody, but most of us. So it become like almost more like a family. So in the family, when you have good and bad people who are not in your real family, everything starts to be complicated. When you not agree with someone, I got a technique. Sorry, let's cut it. Or let's talk. But some people, they want to sometimes push you down, or they just want to say, I'm better than you, or I want to do this. And I don't want to say who are the best, or who I would say who got the truth or not. For me, is always coming back to like that center I'm talking about before. It's like in that business of dance, now it going everywhere. We got Olympics games coming, every promotion spot in the TV, on internet, Instagram, the Jamaican, the twerk, the this, the that. Dance is everywhere, on the bad and on the good way. So after you have many different people, the people who are looking for to show themselves better, and sometimes they're not focusing on the talent of dance. They're focusing on the way they can use dance to be in front of something. So I would say this kind of people sometimes originally they are strong dancer or they love the culture or they love this. But whatever the way you choose, like I told before, whatever the way you choose, you have to find that center gonna make you feel good inside of the life you choose. If you want to be influencer or battle dancer or choreographer, or try to find a center inside of this, because whatever it is, that's where the beef starts. When you start to take the vibe of something, make you lose yourself. So I love battling, but after the battle, it's finished. And some people, they connect the life to the battle, to the way you may be aggressive in a battle or the way you're going to be gentle in the battle. And they forget like, oh, but sometimes it's a game. And sometimes like a movie, the bad boy is not really a bad boy in the life. It's just a bad boy in the movie. And sometimes dance is like acting. Dance is like they show a feeling, show something. And sometimes in the dance, when you mix the life, the battle, the I would say the character and the business, and who's gonna be the next man on the promotion, on the who's gonna be the next battle, gonna be the best battle in the world, or and you're always asking yourself about be on the top of something. And after you just forget about how to live inside of it, to understand it, and maybe to develop something with what you connect with. And I would say, I don't want to say this man is bad or this man is good. I just want to say whatever the way you choose, try to be connected what you like and what you want to do and what you in your center. And I'm sure whatever the road is going to be good for you. Not maybe good for me, but it's going to be good for you and you're going to do it good.
Okay. You kind of spoke on it, man. Let me hear your opinion. You know, in 2022, where everyone has a smartphone, you can make a video, you can reach billions of people, millions of people out there, man. How do you think social media has influenced, the dancing scene? How has social media impacted you and the ones you work with?
Yeah, of course. Now to be in the game with my age and everything, of course, you have to show more than what you used to show before. Because before, you just have to be good to be where you have to be. Now you have to be good in promotion, good looking, good dance, good speaking, good in team life, good showing life, good in everything. And all that, everything you show have to be perfect. And now me, the way I found my center inside of this is like how I can play with that game to give a message, whatever it is, to give a message. So, of course, I never show when I'm on my toilets, when I take my shower, because this is not my style. Some people do it really good, applause. But this is not my style. My style will be like, okay, some people asking maybe, oh, how is prepared before a battle, or how is practicing or training, or I would love to know where is original coming from, like you asked me before, and all that things. And sometimes put it in the dance or artistic style for me is the way to, okay, teach people something at the same time, but teach them something from me, because I show you something personal. But why I show you something personal is because it's matching with what I'm doing. So I'm a dancer, but like what I love is like, of course, we're talking about different things, but you didn't asking me, just a question about dance. You're asking me a question about life. So that was really interesting for me because I connect directly my dance to my life. So, of course, with the social media, you show more than before. So, of course, if you show more than before, me, I try to find the barrier between how I can show something from me is interesting for people who are interesting about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So when you have this center again, it's not interesting for you to see, I don't know, my girlfriend or my kids or my this or my that, because if I show you one day a part of my family, it will be for show you, oh, I'm a dancer, but I got a real life. But this is not the way I will show you my personal life 24 hours, because for me, it's not interesting. For some people, it is. But for me, why I'm going to show that if I'm just a dancer? So this is my own personal, I would say, feeling about the social media. But some people, they show more because they feel good inside of it. And I'm not critiquing that. I just say, like, on my own way to see the social media is like, okay, how I can use this to give a message, whatever it is.
I understand that, man. I definitely understand that. I'm very curious. You know, you spoke on the competition between dancers and how it could be kind of a family. I'm very curious to know the dancing community as a whole. When you get to that high level, is the dancing scene at a high level? Is it the same in France as it is in the USA? As you know, it may be in Europe. Is it all the same, or are there differences, similarities at all?
It's like we have a lot of similar things like US, but for me, I would say on my way to see, because I know a lot of different I would say side of dance, like not only the underground. I used to play with I would say the commercial and the underground, and now what is underground, what is commercial, because we use the underground to make commercial. But I will separate it like just what's coming from the street and what you show to the people in TV and on internet and everything. So the commercial would be the TV show and all that things on internet and stuff. But for me, it's really hard to compare I would say compare people inside of the commercial or the underground, because in the both sides you have people who doing it for sometimes the bad reason or the good reason. So of course it impact you, me, and everything on different way, but it's always coming back to the same question after that. So that's why it's hard again to explain exactly what you feel from the underground, or because in the underground you have people maybe with a really bad character more than the people in the commercial, because they're doing the things for the wrong reason, the same on the opposite way. So that question for me after touch really people their own personal choices inside of the game. I would say be yourself in the game, and maybe it will touch some people and some people no, but you will always have someone who's gonna feel what you feel or think the way you think or whatever.
So let me ask you this then, kind of like a follow-up question, and maybe it's in the same vein. Tell me this, we'll limit it to the past 10 years. How has, if at all, how has the dancing scene changed? How has it evolved? How are things different than maybe 10 years ago? Or do you notice anything?
Yeah, if I go on 10 years ago, it went really fast, and the dance way went really fast, because me, I always connect to the story of something. I'm not connecting only to some people, they just watch the change. And me, I try to watch the change and understand why it changed. And for me, the lifestyle changed, the music changed, and sometime on the positive way, sometime on the negative way for me. And sometimes all the experiences was really interesting about the way everything changed. Whatever it is. It's like, for me, what I accept, some people don't accept it, but what I accept is sometimes what I don't like. And I try to have a look on it to see how it progresses in the time. Because maybe something you don't like from the beginning, maybe 5 years later, it will be like, oh, fuck, I didn't like that dance or that step or that man before, but now what it developed is really interesting. So I would say, I got a sentence for that, say, don't hate what you don't understand. And for me, I take the evolution a little bit like that. Sometimes I got some stuff I don't like, but I keep like, I have a look on it because to see the way maybe some artist progress or some singer or whatever. Because after you say, oh, I don't like his style, but this song is funny or I like it. And sometimes that's the way you even open your own mind. So you have two ways to watch the evolution. You hate it and you don't want to listen to it like an old man who don't like shit, you know? And you have the second possibility. I don't like it, but I respect it. So maybe if you respect it, you will understand the evolution. That's the problem, maybe of some OG in or artistic way or in life. They're just watching something without understand why it changed or why they progress on this side, on this way or this or that. So, of course, nothing is perfect. I got some music I will never like for sure. But now, for example, maybe metal before was for me a strange song, a strange noise, like how you can play a guitar like that is not really sweet in my ears. So, yeah. But after that, when I listen to, I don't know what Run DMC or some cruise after that did with the guitar inside of the rap, Lil Wayne and all that things, Kanye West, I said, wow, that's heavy. But I understand what I didn't like, but I understand the way they put the mix in the music and make me feel something different about a noise originally I didn't like. So after, of course, you go back and you say, oh, but you got some good people who play guitar before and this and that. And you start to understand where is the groove, where is this, where is that. So that's why I say culture got always an origin. So if you want to understand the future, try to understand where it's coming from and how people make it progress in a time. So everything is interesting, even in what you don't like in the beginning.
I definitely understand that. I, let me ask you this. I'm very curious to hear from you, man. They say that there's a saying, I think, is art imitates life, or maybe other way. I'm very curious to hear from you, man. In your opinion, how does art impact society? How does it impact culture? How does dance do the same thing, man? What influences do you see that take shape or take mold from dance and art?
For me, art is the fingers of your life. It's like the energy, the fingers, the way, the power of your life. And some people, of course, I can understand some people who don't like any arts. So for sure. But if it's not art, it can be a passion, whatever it is. But for me, your passion just is just a part of you. So arts for me, just sometimes make I would say the good or the bad, because you have some people, they love to make crazy draw with satana or whatever. I would say I'm not critiquing it because that's pure art. It didn't kill someone. It just put his brain inside of a paper and he just draw it. And it's crazy, whatever it is. So for me, what I like with hearts is like, it can be aggressive. It can be really smart. It can be beautiful. It can be whatever it is. But it's something, energy someone put inside of something to show you something from inside. So that's why I would say whatever the art it is, I always respect the good artist. I would say the talented artists, because they really connect to something deep to show you something deep. whatever it is. So I love the way artists can show you a part of them only on the way they move or the way they draw or the way they rap. And more you touch these things is like, say something personal from something real. I would say that like that. Yeah.
Okay. So something maybe like authentic, something genuine.
Yeah, I would say like that. Yeah.
Okay. I understand that, man. I definitely understand that. Let me ask you one last question, sir, real quick. I ask all my guests this question, man. So I definitely would love to hear from you. For people who, they aspire, they aspire to be what you are. They love what you do. They love your style, your creativity. Tell me, can you give me one tip, one piece of advice that could make anyone a better dancer immediately?
Okay. I will try to make it short. Immediately. For me, first, you need to understand this. You need to understand what's coming inside of this. So really quick, I will say like A, B, C, D. I will call that the alphabet of the music, the counts, whatever it is. Everybody know, like, you got that 8 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a count, whatever it is. So first, I will say if somebody can clap on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you know what it is, you start to have the basic of the music. So for sure, after the rhythm, coming the second things, what you're gonna put on that rhythm, how you feel that rhythm. So maybe I will tell you, whatever it is, try to give me some emotion on each count, or try to give me a character, or try to show me something on each count. So of course it will look fast, but you will understand the music, and more that rhythm will be natural in your movement, more you're gonna start to be connect with the music without even thinking if I'm dancing or not, because you're moving and you show emotions and you show character on a simple basic count. And after this, I would say whatever your level, you watch today, okay, I'm just gonna move my head, I'm just gonna play with my hands, but with that count. And after, you start to play a game. You just have that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you take off some numbers. Maybe you just take off the 2, the 4, and the 6. So your dance gonna have more space inside. So after 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, and you don't even thinking about if you dancing or not. You just start to play with the notes. So more you're gonna put space, after it can be 1 and 5. 1, 5, 1, and you will have more space to develop your emotions. So maybe at 1, you will be hungry. And at 5, you will be happy, And that will be 2 characters inside of one dance, whatever the step it is. So that's the first basic for me, for a beginner to understand how it can be natural on the music and how it can play with the notes without even thinking about movement.
That's awesome, man. I like how you explained that, and I really enjoyed it. At this point, man, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Fabbreezy, for taking time out to talk to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Welcome.
Hey, tell me this real quick. I said last question before, but tell me this real quick. Do you have any upcoming events, anything you want to share, anything you want to plug?
Wow, I got so many projects coming. I'm working with a lot of different people and stuff. So the things I can say like that are coming from the island. And my dream was like with my boys, Legamal, that's the twins I'm working with, GP and their father, I got my lawyer and everything. So we're working for a crazy project we call La Timalerie. So La Timalerie is like, Timal is the way we call our friends in Guadeloupe. So it's like a small male, like a young male or small male. But it's not like especially masculine. It's like going to everybody. So it's like a small male, high male. So Timal. So we put a concept called La Timalerie, is like the Pirates of Caribbean. So the Timalerie, like the piratery, if you say piraterie in French. So we have the concept, like we have many people from Ireland with many different talents, dancers, singer, beat makers, culture, cooking, rum, or whatever it is, club party. And we have that concept going to come from, we're going to start our first event maybe in October, and we'll have a lot of small events going to come with many different things. And be ready for that. The old school dancer too I develop, and the different school I will work with many projects going to come inside. Italy, Sergi, like some different city in France, South, North, and Germany too with my boy P-Dog from Dog Fame. So I have a lot of connection all around Europe, even in Asia and everything. So we will start to joining the project together and to do something crazy. I cannot say more because it is coming really soon.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll be on the lookout for that, man. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, for sure. It will be interesting.
Real quick, tell me this. How can people get in contact with you? How can they reach out to you?
So it's really easy. Everybody got my Instagram. So Fabbreezy, Fabbreezy. So I'm the only one. I didn't add one, or no, it's just Fabbreezy, BBE. And most of the time, I'm not going on every social media. I will start maybe a TikTok or something, but it's always, like I told you before, with a message. So if I don't have a special way to use it, I'm not starting. So for now, I will say most of the time people can contact me on Facebook, YouTube. I got the YouTube channel I will change really soon. And Fabrice is the same, BBE. You will find me. And for on the social media, I got many things. I teach for Red Bull. I teach for many, many different things. So you can find my tutorial everywhere. If you take Fabrice, BBE. I got some competition really soon. Maybe I will go to Summer Dance Forever. It's a crazy battle in Holland, with for me one of the best, with 101 in different styles, coming really soon. And yeah, I think if people come on my Instagram, they will have a lot of information about me and my projects coming soon. Old School Dancer, ALL School Dancer. Okay, I got my page there too. So that's all the connection with all the people I work with. So don't only follow me, watch the people I work with. They're really good. And I try to always give to the new generation to expose everything. So I don't say myself I'm a teacher. I say I'm a savage man who teach other savage people.
Hey, man, that sounds amazing, man. That sounds awesome. Like I said, man, thank you so much for being, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation with you, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the interview. I hope my answer wasn't too bad in my English too. So
nah, your English was perfect, man. It was perfect, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this is it for this episode of the To The Feet podcast. Thank you so much, Fabrice.
Thank you very much.
All right, big bro. Take it easy, man. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.